These are the very popular little books from our friends at Hunkdory, and we've got 3 new ones, and Heidi has been having a wonderful time creating with them. In fact, let me just show you, well, here's one. This is out of the hydrangeas, and she's put it on our center step die. Really cute. This is a pyramid style. So many things you can do with them, so please come play with us. Well, let me just tell you what's in these little books. They are thick, you can see, over ½ an inch wide, and they're about 4 by 5 inches, and there's 120 sheets in each one. Now, there's 20 different designs, so you're going to get 6 of each one. So you can do some fun things like that little gnome card I showed you. We're going to start with hydrangeas and move on into the Wild West, and we're going to finish with birthday humor. So let me first show you what's in the hydrangea. Now, I'm not showing you the ones that Heidi used, but these are the others, and just beautiful. And so many different looks too, that I really appreciate. Not only that, different looks, different colors. And again, you're going to get 6 of every single one. Butterflies and teacups, more butterflies. And there are vertical ones, and you can see most of them are the vertical, blah, blah, blah. And then there's also a couple that are horizontal, just like that. Now, in addition to the ones that I'm going to show you in just a second. So again, hydrangeas from the little book of, and let me start with this card. So this is the first one that Heidi did. And this is using our 5 by 6½ inch card base, but to which she added some papers, and the papers are out of Perfect Little Prints, which is a 6 by 6 size paper. And as you can tell by the front one, they are all tiny prints, which works really nicely with the hydrangeas. So she has taken one of the sheets, and this is one that has primarily light pinks and white background, and has trimmed it down and glued it to the front of her card. Now she's got some layers going on here, and that's interesting. And so she has taken some vellum, and we do have vellum in packages with multiple sheets. So she has taken the vellum, and also this is the hydrangea from the little book, and she has cut these down to be, I think it's about 4 inches by 5 3/4. And then she did exactly what I'm about to do, which is to crumple them. So just like this. I know some of you are just sort of not happy with this, but you know, bear with me. I'm just demonstrating what Heidi did. So she did that with this sheet. And not only that, she did a little bit of tearing. Oh boy, that's really going to bother some people. And okay, so just like that. You do want to get a lot of valleys and mountains in this crumpling process. So she did that to the paper and then kind of layered it, and then did the same thing to the vellum. Now the vellum is a little more particular because you can tear it pretty easily. Can you hear that crumpling? Plus it sounds like it's really in distress, which it is. And we're just going to do this. And you can see I'm even getting some holes in it. That's fine. Then we're going to take our Velvet Fawn ink pad and just go over the areas that are, actually I meant to do it with that sheet. Instead I did it with this, over what happens. So I'm just going to lightly go over that. Now notice that this is a light color, and that's why the Velvet Fawn will show up. If it were a darker one, you would want to get an ink pad that is darker. And I think I need a new Velvet Fawn ink pad. Okay, so hopefully you can see what the idea is. So the idea is to crumple, flatten gently, and then do some inking, just like that. And she has placed them onto the front of her card. The vellum went at an angle, and then this sheet went on pretty straight. Then she took another piece. Oh, I guess she didn't do that on here. She did it on the inside, so I won't give the surprise. This little Thinking of You is one of the cutouts from the Perfect Little Prince. And then she also used the crepe ribbon with the Hunkdory bow maker to create the bow that's right there. And of course, she put it right at the base of the flower stems, which works well. It's also the art that's in there has a bow, so that's kind of nice, just kind of works well. Okay, so that is the card front, gives lots of dimension. Then on the inside, she has taken another piece of cardstock, pattern cardstock from the Perfect Prince. This is a green one, as you can tell. Simply trimmed it to fit and glued it inside her card. She did use the velvet fawn on the edges of the inside, as well lightly on the edges of the front of the card. Okay, now this little image right here, she has glued that down. It's a little bit at an angle. Heidi loves angles. But then she did something else interesting. So she trimmed out the hydrangeas there and the hydrangeas there, crumpled them up, lightly inked them, and put them on top of the art that was in right here. So it gives it some dimension in a pretty easy method. So I thought that was very interesting. Again, a little bow out of that ribbon pack, and Just For You is out of the Perfect Little Prince. So that finishes. So these two, well, you saw how that was before I crumbled it, are also part of the hydrangea, in addition to what I'm going to show you right now. And that is our little gnome. So let me bring him in. And as I said, this is using actually 2 dies, but also a different process. So it's really nice to get a lot of different ideas, and Heidi shares that with us very nicely. So the die is this. It is a center step card cutting die. This is 1 piece, and like all Fabulous Folded, do you see that? Fabulous Folded dies, the directions are on the back, and the package is going to hold your die with the instructions all together perfectly. Nothing flimsy about this. It's really nice. And it's going to show you how you're going to fold those, what you do for mountain, what you do for valley. And she used the Mystic Moon solid cardstock, and I thought that was really interesting. You can see all the beautiful colors. She also used the Mystic Moon die cuts, so I'll show you about that in just a moment, but just kind of wanted you to know that those are coordinating. So she used her cutting die out of the sheet, and this sheet is dark purple on one side, or dark purple on this side, lighter purple on the front, and she chose to have the lighter purple on the front, so that worked nicely. Then she took our rectangle cutting dies, and here they are. There are 12 of them. They are straight line and they are scallop, and they're nested, of course, as you would expect. And so she took, this is the sheet out of the little book, and she cut this to fit the front of her card. So again, the measurements are down below in the instructions. I tend not to give you too many directions or too many measurements while we're talking in this webisode, because I think that gets really confusing when I'm throwing a lot of numbers at you. So they're all written down. It will work perfectly. Okay, so we've got this absolutely charming little gnome, and you can see that he's just going to be trimmed like this. Now, she did cut him out using the straight-edged dies, the rectangular ones, but then she also matted that onto this glitter, and this is the silver glitter. We have it singly. We also have it in packages. I think it's 4 sheets, 3 or 4 sheets, as well as individually. So we've got you covered either way. And isn't that really cute going in the center of this card? That silver just adds a bit of shine. Now, the other thing that she did, remember I said you get 6 copies of this? She used subsequent of the rectangle dies. So there's 1, 2, 3. Now let's get in really close so you can see those 3. Thank you, Jeanette. And so this is the base one, then 1, 2, 3. And they are all die cut in the same area. So you're going to want to make sure that everything is centered on his nose, probably would be a good thing to center it on. And so you're going to cut a small one, and then the next one, and then the next size, and just cut those out. And then you're going to attach them with foam tape. And that is a pyramid style. Very popular in other parts of the world, but really fun here too. And all she did was then to tie a bow, and this is out of the 1/8 inch ribbon. So this is the ribbon set, lots of different colors, and using the bow maker and zodding it in place. Now, a note to say hi, and these two pieces, that is what she pulled out of the die cuts. So you can see, actually you can see this border right here, cut it in half, and just glued one to each side of that card front, as you can see. And a note to say hi, that's also part. In fact, it's probably right here, a note to say hi. There it is. They're die cut, so you just pop them out. For the inside of her card, she used another hydrangea, and this is the only one in that set that's actually a scene. And so she did trim it down to fit. Again, directions are in the instructions. Measurements are in the instructions. She did mat that on that same silver, but just the top and the bottom, and so it would fit nicely right here. Sending you a friendly smile. That is out of the die cuts, and another bow, and that completes this card. You will need envelopes. We have them in the package of 10 envelopes, so that will work perfectly too. Okay, so with all of those that I showed you with the hydrangeas, we just want to remember that there were 4 more, and there they are. Almost all of them. Okay, let's go now to our next one, and we're going to go into the Wild Wild West, and let me show you all of these. And she just did 1 card out of that, so we've got some cowboys and cowgirls. We also have some cows. And again, we have the vertical, and isn't that just cute? A home sweet home, little cactus. We've got some pink, just charming little horse. And then we have some horizontal ones, so just like this. In addition to the 3 that I'm going to show you that she used on this card. So let me bring this out. And this is a new style of card. It is called Boxes Upon Boxes. And look what it does. It just pops out like this, but it folds flat for mailing. It too will fit inside our 10 envelopes. And isn't that fun? I think it's really neat to see things kind of peeking out, and it will stand up. So that's kind of nice too. And let me show you what she used. So to begin with, to make her card base, this is the triple box card cutting die. So what this has is 1 die that's scored, and let me just open this up. Again, directions are right here along with the die. And okay, there's your die. You're going to cut that out 3 times, just like, let's see, we've got 1, 2. Okay, what happened to my 3rd one? I'm not sure where it is, but what you'll do is you're going to fold all those score lines in mountain folds, as you can see. You're going to put some extra sticky tape on this small flap, remove the liner, and tuck that and glue it inside the box. Then for the next box, you're going to do the same thing, but you're also going to put extra sticky tape on the front of it, and that will attach to the back of that box. Super easy, and it will fold flat, just like it's doing here. And then you repeat that to go for the 3rd box. Super easy, but a really fun look. And again, everything is perfectly stored so that you will not lose anything or forget the instructions. Okay, so what she did is she made her 3 boxes and put them together. Now, for decorating. So what she used, and this might seem odd because of the name, but this is Joyful Christmas. Now, it's plaids, but as you can probably see right here, there's snowflakes over the plaids. So there's some different things going on, but you do have that plaid. So what she used in this case is the brown plaid, and she did cut a piece just to fit the front of this. And she did edge it with the Velvet Fawn ink pad, as you can tell. So she cut one piece there, and then she cut a smaller piece to go on the back of this, because as this will stand, as I said, let me take this off. Okay. She wanted to have this looking good from any angle. So that's what she has chosen. So on the front, she's got the brown. Then she went into the art, and she used this sheet, and you can see those big horseshoes. And she did something different. So she trimmed out right around the horseshoes, right around the bow, and foam taped that in place. And then she went back and cut out another bow and foam taped it on top. Now, the For You is from our Tiny Words and Phrases. And here is the black sheet. And it's really interesting that right now Heidi did this, because I just had a customer say that she had trouble using these. She couldn't find a place to use them. So I hope you're watching this, because here's a perfect place. They look tiny, and they are tiny, hence the title. But it's really amazing how many places you can find to use them. I find them on tags, on areas that have a big, maybe a big graphic, just to do a little message, and that works nicely. So For You is right there. And then can you see the stars glittering there? Well, of course, as you would think, those are dazzles. And it comes in a package with one sheet of gold and one sheet of silver dazzles. And so that is our star package. So that is the first one. The second one gets a little bit smaller. It's still out of the Joyful Christmas. So think Christmas and Western, okay? Smaller piece. And she did ink the edges of that with the Prussian blue. So she's got one piece here, and then she's got another piece on the back side. So again, it just goes right on that area. And this time she wanted the little cowgirl, and she is part of this sheet. So you can see she's just cut out. She did foam tape her in place. She's got For You, a little high down there, and a little star on her belt, as well as her hat, as well as back here on all three of them. Okay, really cute. Then the last one goes back to the brown, goes back to edging it with the Velvet Fawn. And then she used this sheet, and she did something different with this, kind of like what she did on the bow on the front. So she did just the boots, foam taped them on, and then she cut out the right-hand boot. Goodness, I think in the instructions I said, okay, well, it's this boot, and then she foam taped it in place. So it is in front of. So it's the left one as I look at it, but if you were putting them on, it's your right boot. So just bear with me on those instructions. Just because are the Tiny Words and Phrases. And notice that right here, a little bit on her hat, and these are really poking out of the card. It works perfectly because the envelope is going to accommodate those sizes. More stars. Boy, the stars work perfectly, don't they? And like I said, there's another star in the back. So these are all just in very good shape. And there is our card. This is our triple box card. And this was just released recently. So this is the first time I've used it in a Webisode other than the Webisode that had that one. Okay, so that is for the Wild West. Now our last one is the birthday humor. And the birthday humor, Hunkdory does a really good job of puns and plays on language. And in this one, let me show you what's in there. Okay, birthday time, you don't get older, you level up. Okay, good to know. It's probably time to start carrying hard sweets in your pocket. Okay. I remember your birthday even without social media. That's nice to know. Here we go. Born to be wild. That's a cute lady. I used to think I'd like less gray hair, but now I want more of it. Okay, this calls for cheese and pineapple on a stick. Being so fabulous must be exhausting. Hope your birthday is happier than a seagull with a chip. So you see just a lot of fun things. Excuse me. Okay, So humor is what they're doing. King for the day, at least until mom comes home. And then again, horizontal ones. Birthdays are like cats. You wake up and they're right there in your face. Well, that happens to me every morning. There we go. You know you are getting old when your toys become collectibles. Yeah, just like an Etch-a-Sketch. You know what rhymes with birthday? Beer. Okay. Well, this card that Heidi used has, as you can tell, this little piece, and so that's the base of it. But what she used for her card are these. This is Hunkdory's tent card. Very, very popular with you. And because it folds, the fold is at the top, and it creates a tent. However, Heidi cut 3 inches off the front of her card, and you can use that somewhere else. And then she took this piece and she matted it onto the gold metallic cardstock. So that's going to work nicely. It's going to give you some color. But then she also used the Steampunk for Everyone cardstock. And you see all of those colors, which are probably more colors than you would expect to see in a steampunk, but there they are. And you can see that she used the teal, and she covered the top part, leaving a white border. So just a white border on 3 edges. And again, the measurements are in the instructions. And isn't that pretty, that little edge? And that is done with our fancy border dazzles. Now, this is the primary colors. So red is in there, green. There are 12 different colors in this package. And so that worked nicely. The ribbon is out of the Glimmer ribbon set. And you can see all the colors that are there. Again, she used that with the bow maker and zotted it. This part is foam taped in place. The other thing she did, and we're going to have to zoom in pretty close to see them. Do you see all of the dazzles, the jewel dazzles? Well, that comes from the gold pearl set. Here it is. 540 of these little puppies on that sheet, and just adds a bit of shine. Goes along with the Gold Mary. The inside of her card, she just put a yellow sheet, and then she used this one, and this is in full place. She did mat that on the Gold Mary, just as you can see. And again, just like on that first sheet, there are tiny jewel dazzles on those candles, hoping that your many wishes come true. And you can see that yellow very nicely when the card is closed, so that worked nice. So these are the other 2 pieces in addition to the ones that I just showed you. So lots and lots of goodies in this, and it's certainly covering some very fun themes, don't you think? We've got humor birthday, we have the Wild West, and the really pretty hydrangeas, so all of them. Now we do have these in a money saver. No shock there, because we always have a money saver. We like to say that we're watching your wallet, and because we are. And if you would like all 3 of these, they are in the money saver. You'll have a discount, and that's always kind of a nice surprise. As I've said many times in this, all of the instructions are down below. Just click on the card and you'll see the instructions. You can print them out if you would like. If you're watching this on YouTube, we hope that you will subscribe to our channel. That helps us, and we hope you like us too. Then head on over to paperwishes.com. We're really happy to have Hunkdory, and speaking of watching your wallet, I think we have the best prices around, so that's nice too, plus the money saver. And I do want to give a big thank you to Heidi for being so creative with the cards that she's made and showing us some other ways of using these really fun toppers. So you're going to have 120, 120, 120, so that's 360 sheets. Wow, that's quite a bit of creativity coming your way. So thank you for joining us, and thank you most of all for being part of our Paper Wishes family. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.